Hey, so it's me again. Welcome back to the show. You guys are in luck. I can't find my TV remote to use as my monitor, so I decided I'll do a quick show. Just got back in, long day. I guess I should show my face, who I am for a minute. Hello. Once again, my name is Shimmy Cash. You can Google me, look me up, or use whatever search engine you please to find my work, 18 plus adults only. And I do this show here in Southeast Asia and pretty much talk about my plants and stuff that are outside. So this show, I try not to put much of what little ego I have into it. So I'm just going to pull this curtain aside and you guys can listen to me talk about life and whatever I feel like, all right? I appreciate it. This is a non-profit channel. I'm not getting paid for it and never will. So, I have no other external motivations other than for you guys to remember my name. So, whatever. But in case you're wondering, Shimmy, Shimmy Cash is the name. Alright, so looking outside, you guys can see my wonderful collection of plants is growing. What is new today, other than me looking like hell because I just got home, I got some yoga mats in the mail. Yeah, lots of fun here. I buy exercise equipment, shoes, vitamins, and, health related stuff like that. And you guys can't see the floor here. It's like a new 3-inch padded, kind of like basically wrestling mats or whatever, but very thick for doing my cardio and stuff like that. Now I was wondering what I would talk about today. And just walking outside on the balcony gave me a good idea. Hold on. You guys know how I like my blue exercise ball in a lot of my videos, right? Well, this one finally popped. I deflated it a couple of days ago. And here, let me put it here for an example for y'all to just look at, I suppose. There. The blue exercise ball. I got to order another one tonight. I've ordered a lot of them things. Had them in every country, right? It's just like one of my staples, so you know it's me. So anyways, yeah, it's like when you move abroad, move out of the country, or even you just upgrade any kind of little status in your life, a lot of people aren't going to be happy about it. Family, friends, and others or whatever who are kind of stuck where they're at or can't think their way outside of a cardboard box, even after you give them the formula, the plan, the groundwork and the assistance or whatever, some people just aren't interested in doing what you do, or they have other life plans and paths they've already, pre-designated themselves to go down or whatever. And that's cool. Everyone live your own life or whatever, right? Well, I put this deflated blue ass exercise ball here for y'all to laugh at me. All you guys that are like, man, fuck you, Shimmy, whatever. Fuck you and your exercise ball, nigga. I hope your exercise ball pops. You gotta give people that don't like you something to feel good about themselves. So y'all niggas can laugh it up at my little blue exercise ball till I get another one in the mail. Let me take this hot ass motorcycle jacket off here. You guys notice that, well, you guys already know white's my favorite color, but motorcycles especially, that shit needs to be visible, man. You guys watch my old videos in Florida. White motorcycle, white wheels, white paint like a slowmobile, as they say, Jeezy. But yeah, man, I like to be visible. I wear my white bandana, white t-shirt, white jacket, white shoes, white bike. Can't say you didn't see me. Black motorcycles are bad luck. Anyway, let me get into my little makeshift topic here, light up my joint. You guys notice I'll smoke a lot during a lot of these shows, so I really can unlock some of the thoughts in the back of my brain, so pardon me for a moment. Or smoke along with me if you're a 420 smoker. Whatever makes you feel good. I've only got 50% battery on this little headset thing too, so, this is a show for fun. And nigga, if you're expecting something to dance in front of the camera anytime soon, I'm not planning for it to happen. So, you know, there ain't no naked girls around the corner. I don't have a bird that's going to fly in the window unless it does on its own free will. But don't expect the scenery to change. So in other words, you're better off listening to my shows while you're working out, running, or driving or something where you don't really have to be looking at the screen, because you're just going to see some fire on here. Maybe I'll go water those fuckers in a little while outside. They've been growing a lot better since I water them 3 times a day now. It's a labor of love. You guys can see some of the new shoots shooting out of the little babies on the ground there. So, yeah, the cooler weather's helping a bit too. But yeah, man, I gotta get another fucking exercise ball. Is what it is. All right, let me turn on the devil's social media thing here. The Zog network you people call Facebook, that the government owns or whatever. I participate in that bullshit from time to time only because, you know, basically old people and Canadians are on it. That's really about it. Actually, you know what? Here in this country here, they use Facebook a lot too. I take that back. But, you know, it's in America, everyone's kind of on the other stuff or whatever now. Anyway, here's one of the things I wanted to bring up here. Topic at hand. You guys know that I moved into this little place here. It ain't much. It's only 38 square meters. Very small compared to your typical American house. But it's mine. Alright? And as I point out time and time again, I got 2 more just like it that I rent out. That's been my little grind that I've been on for the last little bit. And I'm a little proud of myself. You know, at the phase that I'm in right now. Most people have just purchased their first home in their late 30s or early 40s or whatever. And I'm 45 years old, and I've done this game about, not a dozen times, but probably about 10 times by now. Buy, sell, lose, buy, sell, foreclose, buy, sell. You know, if I could only keep the motherfuckers or whatever, right? Well, at least over here in Asia, I don't have a problem holding on to stuff. You know, because the shit's not really that expensive either. In America, there's all kind of tricks and traps to, you know, maneuver you out of your property or whatever. You know, even if it's paid off, you know, your property taxes could inflate. There could be another COVID, a market spike, tenants don't pay. All kind of crazy shit could happen. You know, if you're not, I wouldn't even say if you could be the most responsible, bill-paying, good credit person there is, but, you know, a bad month or something and you're fucked up. If you get injured or sick or something, you could lose everything, along with your credit score, your health, and bank account, and your, you know, perfectly clean record on paper, right? So America, you know, to get a mortgage, you got to save up and go through hell. I've paid up to 16% interest on some shit, you know, from a Jew, a private bank. I've done that before, and I've also gotten commercial mortgages as high as like 10% and stuff from these predatory companies like Countrywide and Select Portfolio Servicing and these other kind of people who I don't even know who owns that shit, but at least, you know, they do traditional so-called FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, whoever these people are, mortgages or whatever, right? Canada's no different. Actually, Canada, you're lucky if they'll even sell you the fucking house or the land due to redlining and stuff like that. But, you know, it's the housing game is, you're at a very severe disadvantage, whereas here in Asia, you know, at least the concept of having a home or owning a home is like a primary tenet of life. You know, you go to the grocery store here and there's like people trying to sell you condos and they're willing to do everything to help you get in the door. America, you got to pull teeth and, you know, print out like some telephone book, magazine size application and, you know, just so they could bend you over and fuck you. So, no, man, I don't like that American shit. I've done it and lost it. Canadian stuff, too. I've done and lost it so many times. So, for me to get to a country where it's, you know, simple, easy, and effective to purchase property at a low price, at least to me, or a fair price, I should say. And just, you know, kick it. It's good to just like put your thing in cruise control or neutral and coast. In America, you could never coast. The treadmill only gets faster and faster and faster till you die. So, you know, I'm not one to keep reinventing the wheel and keep suffering and re-suffering again. There's nothing wrong with going through hard times and suffering, but you gotta, you know, put an end to that re-suffering shit. You know, some of my favorite cars, okay? The Volkswagen Rabbit Cabriolet, Golf, whatever you want to call it, GTI, same shit. The Rabbit, I call it. I've broken almost every part possible on this car. I've never wrecked it either. I mean, mechanically, I've broken fucking everything. Motor, transmission, suspension, even steering knuckles. And those are like made out of either steel or iron or something. Probably iron, you know. I've broken almost every part on these cars and know how to pretty much take them apart and put them back together, only because I've broken the parts so many times. And when I break them, I learn how not to ride or abuse or misuse the machinery, so it's less likely to happen again, right? You got to apply that to your everyday life, man. It's okay if you fuck up, but don't fuck up again in the same manner, or you didn't learn anything from your mistakes, right? In all the properties that I've lost and acquired in the West, I've learned my lesson to not play games with people that are crooked, or systems or whatever that are crooked, that are intent on maneuvering you out of your home. So you're sleeping in your car, sleeping in a shelter, sleeping in a fucking RV trailer or some shit that's going to get swept up in a hurricane. I've learned better than that, right? So, you would think that people would be happy for me learning this lesson, but if they're stuck in the West, they're probably not that happy. Even though, you know, you offer people a life raft or what they call it, a buoy, a lifesaver or whatever, and a rope to come and, you know, come on, man, I can help you out with this. It's all good. You know, some people just can't let go of what little bit of shit they have because, you know, that would be like me staying in America saying, you know what? Fuck that. I got 2 Porsches here and a motorcycle. I ain't going nowhere. I got toys. Yeah, a lot of people let their toys tether them to, you know, hell, basically. I don't want to be in hell with toys. Shit. I'd rather be here and have no toys. God damn. You want to live a slavery lifestyle just so you can have toys and drive fast on the freeway or look cool. Nah, I ain't for me, man. Fuck that. Now, speaking of that, in America, at least in California, there was something on the news last week. I don't know if I'll upload this show today because I believe one of my accounts has already got a strike or 2 or some shit, and once they give you a strike, you're like banned from uploading to their Google platform for like a week or 2 until they finally ban you. They're going to ban all these channels, man. I encourage you folks to really go ahead and download these shows while you can with YT MP4 or YouTube to MP4 or some other site that you could download your favorite videos on or whatever, because they are going to can this shit. I'm not joking, man. I know it. How do you say? Well, they're not paying me anyway, but it hurts their pocket by not having ads. If YouTube and these other big boy platforms just started willy-nilly banning all the people they don't like, they wouldn't be able to sell as many ads for the election and shit like that. Man, I don't endorse any of this shit. You guys play into my videos, you got all kind of, you know, Democrat, Republican, president kind of election ads and shit coming up. So they need people like me to keep making dumbass videos talking about my plants and stuff on a balcony just so they could sell ads. Every little bit of airtime or whatever internationally counts. And they know this. Whether you know it or not, I know it. The small potatoes feed, you know, everyone. You know, those top 1% or 2% of creators, good for them. But you know, it's supported, the backbone of everything is supported by the little guys, so who don't get paid. Yeah, man, that's how the platform rolls. But anyway, yeah, they're gonna can this shit. So anyway, yeah, I heard from moms out there. You guys don't know I'm from East Oakland, California, right? And this week, or last week I should say, there was another firestorm there. You know, mom's called me up and said, check out the news, and I looked at it. And, you know, of course, the Oakland Hills where the zoo and shit was on fire. I used to go running up in this neighborhood. You guys look at my little, I don't know, whatever, Instagram or whatever, Facebook shit. You'll even see me running in these very same hills that are on fire or whatever, or already burnt down, I should say. You know, to me, you know, I'll tell you my opinion on it anyway, just because I know the economy's hard and everything like that. It sounds like a case of Jewish lightning. Google that if you don't know what it is. It is a real thing. I didn't just make that shit up. But that means it's like a lot of insurance cases going on because there's tough times going on. I don't have a house in this neighborhood and no horse in the race. I'm just saying. When I was about, how old was I, man? I was about either 13 or 14 years old. There was a similar fire in the same area, the Oakland Hills, which happens to be the area where all the, I should say more, I shouldn't say richer, but some of the more well-off to-do people are. I imagine the homes up there in the millions of dollars, because like newer ones back in the 90s were like $500,000, and that was a lot in the 90s. So these are multi-million dollar homes that burned up or whatever. Most likely for insurance cases is Jewish lightning. You know, there ain't no other reason for that shit to catch on fire. They'll blame it on someone throwing a cigarette out a window or some shit like that. But more than likely, somebody got behind in their debts, their crypto, their mortgage or something, and they don't want to lose the shit, and they found out that was the best way to do it. So that's my personal opinion on that shit right there. Anytime you see forest fires all over California and, you know, Canada and Florida or whatever, it's especially Florida, man. There used to always be fires alongside of the highway, you know, especially along 95, you know, and just the area from like the Space Coast going down to Miami, right? And, you know, they just, I got a theory that people or land developers just burn that shit so they can clear it and buy the land for real cheap. You know, it's cheaper to burn the shit down than clear cut it, most likely, you know. So that's my personal opinion on what's going down there, but in California. So anyway, if you're in the East Bay area, California, I'm sure you'll be okay. If you got that big ass house, they're not going to give you no mortgage without no insurance. That's for damn sure. So y'all will be all right. But yeah, Jewish lightning is some insurance fraud shit. And you guys might wonder why I keep bringing up Jewish this, Jewish that, and whatever in every fucking episode. It's because I got burned so hard by that last bitch girlfriend I had, who was a lying Jew. So I've got firsthand experience. A lot of people who dislike Jewish people, they don't have any friends, they don't have anyone who is intertwined intimately in their life or whatever. So I have a lot of experience to draw from. It's firsthand knowledge. It's not like I'm some fucker reading you know, websites all day and getting indoctrinated by books and other people. That's my life, man. You know, I've gone the 360 route and learned, burned, and got you know, scammed and fucked over, and pretty much every stereotype mentioned is true. And I've firsthand witnessed it, and then some. So that's where that shit comes from. It's not like blind hate. It's real world, real life. You fucked up some shit and set me back kind of shit or whatever, right? So it's clarification on that shit. I'll probably elaborate more on that as time goes on, because life lessons are priceless, you know. Remember, when you guys listen to me, you're listening to a guy that was like a millionaire by, what was it, about age 21? From age 19, seriously, man, from age 19 to 21, before I even started shooting videos or whatever. I was a pretty smart internet kid when the internet first came out. And I was making websites and just making money back in the 90s, well before I even picked up a camera and filmed a girl or anything like that. So I made it, I've lost it. I haven't regained it back to that point or whatever. I hope to one day. But I mean, you know, you're getting $1 million plus worth of so-called game, right off the bat. And that was 25 years ago. So imagine how much more wiser and experienced I am now. It's a very bad idea to listen to anybody that they never really had a whole grip of money in their life and lost it, and at least had the chutzpah to regain it and pick themselves up several times over. You know, there's people, niggas, kids nowadays, if they lose $1 million, $100,000 in crypto, they'll go jump off their roof. You know, they think it's over, it's unrecoverable. Most people can't fathom the setbacks I've been through. That's why little shit just don't faze me. Things that would knock the wind out of most people, I'm just like, oh, nigga, I did that shit back in 99. Whatever. You could recover from that. You could recover from being broke. You could recover from being damn near dead. You could recover from being fat. You could do everything. You know, I've done it, and I've got the pictures and stories to prove it, man. So anybody that hasn't built, destroyed, and rebuilt themselves a couple times over in life, I can't listen to you, man. You're just not on that level. It's like some veteran army shit or something. Like, you haven't seen no combat here, and here, so you can't tell me shit. I know how they function on this side of the world, that side of the world, that corner of the globe, and everything. You know, just the street maps that are in my head internationally are probably, I would say, priceless. That I could just go and navigate my way around many parts of the world without even a phone, or just because I'm like, oh, yeah, it's my old block, whatever. You know, so being well-traveled and just, you know, being basically a cowboy all your life teaches you a lot more than most people that just wake up, go to work, and stay on their zip code all day or whatever, right? Not that there's anything wrong with that. You know, my life and lifestyle and life choices are not for everyone. But I'm just saying I probably have a wider variety of experiences with people than the average person. That's what I think, at least. I could be wrong. I don't know how many countries you guys have been to. I don't know who's in your family. I don't know what your IQ is. I don't know what your body mass and all that other kind of shit is. But if I did, I could compare mine on paper to you, and we could see what the numbers dictate. Not opinions, just numbers and measurements. That's all. Because those don't lie. So, anyways, you guys watch my little fire there. Let me talk a little more while this battery runs itself down. Clicking on Facebook on the screen now, if y'all can't tell. What's been going on here? All right, let me dig into this here because it was kind of bothering me, so why not? I haven't done a show in a long time, maybe like probably a year, little over a year. I last did a show about black women. Why don't I talk about that here? Because I'm going to talk about my mom and her comments on here. It's kind of funny, you know. So I don't really fuck with Facebook that much. I might post a picture on there like once every, 2 or 3 months or something, just for the hell of it. I believe my Instagram echoes it from time to time, but I'm not really a person that likes taking pictures of myself. Most of the time people are taking pictures with me or of me, all right? So I looked around the phone, I'm like, oh, there's a picture of me. Let me throw it on there or whatever. It's nothing special. I'm just leaning on a railing at the beach or whatever. And I get the comment. Well, I got to read this shit. I forget what it said. But it was like yesterday, and I was like, well, that was like nice, but also underhanded or whatever, right? So my mama writes me on here. As you guys know, I'm in Asia. And she writes, I'm reading the screen here, my handsome, in caps, somewhat, my handsome, amazing son, great photo, enjoy your vacation. Which sounds like a normal comment on the surface. Meanwhile, the reality of things, for one, I don't need all that, you know, buttering up the bread shit, handsome, amazing, this, great, this. I mean, it's, that's just, I don't like fakery coming from anybody. You know, really. But, yeah, again, to reiterate the point, yes, I love my mama, and everyone probably should love their mama under most circumstances. But I want to point out the second or third half of this statement here. Enjoy your vacation. I am flabbergasted. As you guys know, I am not on vacation. I live here. I landlord here. I run the beach here. It's like you're kind of shitting on me, man. Which is like the reason I bring this up is like your family, friends, and loved ones. Not saying it's like a black women thing. I should probably backpedal that, but my mom is a black woman. But people are going to mog your accomplishments, basically. they're gonna try to make your accomplishment seem small to make themselves feel better. And it's pretty dirty, man. I mean, I don't do that shit to people. I'm happy for people when I see them winning. When I see a friend and they opened up a new shop or got a new house or got a new car or done some milestone that's important to them in their world, I congratulate them, and I'll shake their hand with two hands or whatever and really mean it, man. I like to see people win. I don't like to see people hurting. I don't like to see people, like I pointed out with that popped, where did I throw it at? The blue exercise ball, man, about my deflated ball, right? Niggas are happy when they see shit like this. When they see you failing, when they see your shit breaking down and whatever, they're happy. It makes them chuckle. It makes their day. Because they're fucking up in some aspect of their life or whatever. And really, it's actually kind of a warning. It's like a psychological warning sign when people hate on people that are close to them, that are dear to them. I think, personally, I should probably read up more on this, but damn, man, that's fucked up. I'm happy. I want to see people around me win. I want to see people around me not homeless and fucked up and working 3 jobs and, getting kicked out, deported, and just tossed out like fucking garbage. I don't want to see that happen to anybody, the kind of things that happen to me. I'm happy when I see people with stability, with a homestead, with their bills under control, when shit's rolling good. So you have to take these little small negging comments as warning signs that people kind of like hate you a little bit, just a wee little bit, or maybe a lot. I don't know, but there's a lot to be said about people that coat thinly veiled insults with compliments. So when this little, I wouldn't even call it an argument, but when this little Facebook chain of comments started, I'm clicking on it now. And another thing to mention too, like about this social media Facebook shit, I don't ever write shit on there. I haven't wrote shit in probably like a decade, other than to my old bitch ass sister-in-law about her truck cover or something, right? That was like my last Facebook comment, I think. Today I typed on there, after like a very long time, I typed out, "The disrespect is getting ridiculous." I'm saying this quote unquote is what I typed. "The disrespect is getting ridiculous. I live here. I own 3 condos here. I have no plans of returning to America in November or anytime soon. If you want to see me, you're welcome to come and visit me. Otherwise, learn to enjoy the life you've created for yourself or make the appropriate changes." Now that comment ain't gonna get no goddamn likes from anybody. But it's the truth, man. Like, really, I don't expect you niggas to have a party for me with balloons and cake and shit like that and be like, "Congratulations," but I don't expect backhanded comments or whatever, so I'll just quit posting pictures and dumb shit on there. You guys could just kind of like be a mystery to my world, because I deleted the the Facebook app off my phone now, finally, and I realized I could just use the, the Messenger thing rather than the fucking Meta app or whatever you call it or whatever. So anyway, yeah, man, it's like, you niggas call it what you want to. I call it misguided love /hate /envy. But I mean, that shit's not cool. And it's really one of the reasons that I made these videos before. I say about, black women or this, witches, voodoo, I don't date them, I don't fuck with them. It's because of shit like this, because my mama gives them a bad rap. I've met many black girls that don't act like this, and some that do. But, I basically don't want to be reminded of this kind of treatment, by somebody that basically looks like me. That's fucked up. So you guys wonder, why are the passport bros going here, here, and here, and here? It doesn't matter what country they go to as long as they don't look like you. Basically, or at least they don't, I shouldn't say that. They don't, yeah, I guess so. They don't look or behave like you, I suppose. Because you guys don't know, I was in Dominican Republic for couple years, Costa Rica, a couple years, Colombia, all that, and there's plenty of black women there, and most of the girls were black girls or whatever, and that didn't bother me one bit. So it's not a color thing. I don't want for black so-called African American girls in America to think like I'm on some shit or whatever because of the way their skin is. I mean, that's ridiculous. I don't care if they're darker, lighter, and stuff like that. It's you know, it's just like I want to say it's the attitude, like Johnny Rebel said. But yeah, man, that kind of treatment, man, is pretty fucked up. They say no one hates like family. So, you know, you guys are 10, 20,000 miles away dealing with some crazy ass shit, man. You know, Americans are on this shit where they're rationing food stamps. You know, they can't afford a house. There's floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, you know, crazy, you know, orchestrated presidential politic election shit. Cops shooting people in the fucking back. I saw a video last week. They shot a nigga that was sleeping in his car. I'm so glad to be out of the kill box. You know, if they don't kill you with that, it's the food, it's the cops, it's the vaccines, it's the interest, it's the, you know, it's like a multi-level trap. Malcolm X was famous for saying we're trapped, double trapped, and triple trapped. That was in, I believe, the 70s. So might have been the 60s, I don't know, before I was born. But you know, if that was back then, imagine how bad it is 50 years later. It's a octuple trap, or whatever you want to call it. Man, it's sewn up. And to unfuck yourself out of that kind of a situation, money alone is not gonna save you. You know, you could be six-figure nigga that has a good job, went to school, got good credit, this and that. You can fuck that up in like a month, man. If you have a bad month, if you get a lawsuit, if you get arrested, if you lose your job, if your spouse leaves you or runs off with the money, or you get scammed by some fucking Pakistani Filipino on the phone, or you get your account hacked, or you click a wrong link, you're just like an instant away from instant destruction in America. If you use the banking finance system, if you forget to pay your car insurance or whatever. You know, that's one of the trippiest things that got to me while I was in Florida, if you guys don't know. You know, I kept my, for those of you that don't know, I ain't getting no speeding tickets or whatever. I haven't gotten no speeding tickets in, shit, really, man, about 15 years or so. You know, I drive like an old man. And if I do ride my bike a little up to speed, it's at an early hour in the morning when ain't nobody on the fucking road at 5 in the morning or whatever, right? So, you know, I'm not like my teenage self that was, you know, riding around with a radar detector, avoiding the speed traps, and, you know, you learn better. That's why when you're younger, your car insurance is high until you're over 25 or something like that. Get a little sense in your fucking head and start driving like an old man and save that shit for the track. You know, otherwise you're stuck paying traffic fines and tickets and shit like that, or you don't got no money to tune your shit. So I learned that lesson or whatever with experience, and once you get enough tickets and rack up enough fines, you're like, okay, I know how to avoid this shit here. Yeah. So that's all, man. But yeah, shit like that, man, it gives it kind of gives black women a bad eye. Any black guy that's kind of had a like iffy or a somewhat controversial, argumentative relationship with their mother probably doesn't want to be with a black woman. You know, that's something that I think black women that are mothers should consider. If you want your son to have a black wife, black girlfriend, or whatever, then you should, you know, not fuck with their head and shit like that on thing. It's not. It's just so much that I could say. I'm happy. I'm happy for who I am and for what my mama did for me. But, you know, that whole thing, the whole mama argument that doesn't hold water for me, even as a grown adult here now that has 2 kids of my own. You know, I don't know if all moms do this shit where they talk about that, oh, I carried you for 9 months and so and did labor for so many hours. You know, I think many mothers repeat this shit a lot. Man, 9 months ain't even a long time. Shit, I've been here like 9 months. My plants are almost 9 months old on some of them, you know, whatever. So it's like 9 months ain't shit. A year ain't shit. Come on now. Yeah, man. But for you guys that do have mamas that are still alive and around and kicking, spend some time with them. Show them you love them. Do something for them. You know, moms that have sons, appreciate your sons too. No doubt. You know, I don't think it's a loving thing when like, I don't insult my own kids, you know, for amusement. That's fucked up. You know, kids these days, especially myself and the younger generation, they have more, their problems are multiplied and amplified by the generation. You know, I'm sure that my kids' generation have much more problems than I do. Even though I went through some shit, they're going through some like newer digital shit. At least I grew up halfway in the analog age, you know, before the internet or whatever. So, you know, I could just imagine the kind of hoops and scams and tricks they got to dodge and whatever, you know. A lot of it will probably be above my head. So yeah, man, you don't need your parents stressing you out too. That's fucked up, man. Survival in the world is difficult enough. So I always say to people, don't make life any harder than it needs to be. You know, if you guys that have ever done time before, you know, that's like the number one rule too of doing time. You don't make anyone's time more difficult than it has to be. It's like you're causing them unnecessary suffering for a few seconds of your amusement. You know, you guys need to think twice before you go and snarkily jump on somebody's whatever they call that social media shit. Unless they did something to you or they personally wronged you and stole from you or fucked something up. You guys see how I go to war with people like that Jerry Smiley bitch that got $180,000 off my site. You know, I'll go to war with a nigger on that social shit over money if there's something on the table to actually fight for. But as far as ego and stuff like that, I give two shits unless there's some actual numbers to, you know, squabble over or whatever, right? There ain't no carcass to divide. Fuck it. You could have your ego. You won your Pyrrhic victory. Ha ha. You get a clap, clap, clap. So, you know, I'm careful on how I expend my energy and who I direct it towards. But you guys that are out there that just, what do they call that shit? They just troll people's comment thing just for fun. Man, y'all niggas should just be doing push-ups or something. You should be planning on how to buy your next crib or spend time with your girl, spend time with your kids, spend time with your car or bike. But why spend the time, you know, fucking with somebody that hasn't done nothing to you wrong? I don't do nothing but good to people. I don't go out intending to cause people harm, embarrassment, shame, none of that shit. There's enough people in the world doing that, and you never know who is on the edge or brink of destruction these days. Careful how you treat people. Careful how you look at people these days. Careful how you act around some people. You know what? They might have had a bad experience with somebody that even kind of looks like you a little bit, and that might be enough to set them off. So you have to tread carefully and cautiously today. That's what I'm saying, man. Now, finally, since I have pretty much, you know, gotten away from most of the fuckers who I don't like and don't like me, I'm good. I'm chill. I'm zen. I'm relaxed. My plants are growing. The only haters that I have are probably watching this shit right now, and it's all good in the hood. I'm about to water these plants on the balcony. You guys can see just how much of a nerd, a mark, a loser I am. Yeah, man. So enough with that Facebook shit. But what's interesting about it, though, is like, I've noticed in the so-called algorithm, which isn't real, if you ever get into some like comment string or chain or whatever, the system, the Facebook system and the Instagram system and all that same shit, it'll start showing you targeted advertisements, jokes, and memes related to whatever you're arguing about. Some kind of like psychological experiment or whatever. So it's something interesting to play around with, actually. You know, just something that they try to gauge your emotional state and are basically energy vampires. So you guys that are on this like back and forth warring or trolling or whatever on the computer, the ads they target you with, you know, you're going to be getting all those ads for what they call that shit, whatever, pharma medications, Zoloft, antidepressant, schizophrenic. They're going to try to pretty much medicates you. If you start arguing with people on social media platforms, all of a sudden your banner ads will be filled with this pharma shit, you know, because they know that ask your doctor about this. Oh, this person's having problems. They're getting to a fight with their, you know, family member, loved one, whatever. Oh, they must need more prescription drugs. Okay. Oh, no, what? I got an ad the other day. It was like, do you need a therapist? Click here for better help. Click here, get here, click here. So do know that the social engines of the world, ran by the Jews, they feed on this shit. They feed on your pain, your argument, your arguing, your suffering, your unhappiness with the world, and they monetize that shit. If they know you're depressed, they're going to start serving up casino ads frequently. If they know that you're impulsive, if they know that you're up late at night. You know, one of the reasons that I got YouTube Premium, and I really have to get reactivated here now, I got it because I was getting YouTube ads while I was running races, which interrupts my music, which I play video game music while running my races and exercising and stuff. And aside from that, if I were to go running at early morning hours of like 4 a.m. or something like that, the phone spies on you so much, I would get ads that come up and say, do you need an Uber? Like it knows I'm running and not in a car and it's early in the morning and they assume that I need an Uber. You know, so all that shit started, the tracking and surveillance started bothering me so much that I had to either delete the ads or quit using the program, or really what I started doing is saving my favorite videos and music things or whatever for offline use, since I kind of play the same shit all the time anyway. You know, I like repetitive shit that I like, or I like to do the same thing over and over. You know, so niggas will talk all that bullshit. They'll start talking about you're schizzy, you're crazy, you're autistic, you're this, you're that, you're depressed, you're manic, you're bipolar. All because you know, had a little Facebook disagreement with someone or something like that. I mentioned earlier in the show about how most people are just only like a mouse click or two away from losing their life savings and shit like that. You got to realize the engine of social control in America, and I'm sure it's over here too, but in America it is a well-oiled machine and a well-funded machine. And I don't like it. I just don't like it. I didn't grow up with it, so I know what it's like to have without it. You niggas that grew up with Facebook when you were born, you don't know what it's like before all that shit. But before, I'm from a world where that shit wasn't around. Now, they did have social networks. Nigga, I used to have a BBS, a bulletin board, like on a dial-up 6-pack in the 90s. I was running a 386, 486, whatever. It was like starting with a 2400 baud modem, that old slow-ass cat scratch shit. I had a computer called a Packard Bell, which isn't even around anymore. Before there was even, you know, the so-called World Wide Web. I was on some old shit called Prodigy dial-up that I used to get the free disc from or whatever. But yeah, man, that's the world that I come from. I come from a world without that shit. So I just know that things were better and happier back then. That's all. So, you know, I guess with that said, I'll pretty much leave this alone and finish sparking my joint up. If I feel like talking some more, I will. But most likely I should probably smoke and close the door before the mosquitoes come in. So thanks for watching. And you guys enjoy your evening. I'm Shimmy Cash again. I'll show my black ass face again. Shimmy Cash again. Hello. If you want to support my work, you can look me up. Shimmy Cash, 18 plus, adults only. Find my movies, my series, Tatikos, Indian Girls, White Girl Cops, White Wives Matter. And by the way, I do cameos on like, man, I'm on a bunch of series of sites. I should just do an episode where you guys know where I'm just like the what do they call it? The sidekick character on many of your favorite websites and, you know, stuff like that as well too. You guys don't know about that shit, but that's how my movie library is so big or whatever, right? So anyway, yeah, Shimmy Cash will sign out on that note. That's me. Take care. Peace and hair grease. I'm out of there.